The Story of Hanukkah by Bobbi Katz, illustrated by Linda Docky Graves, narrated by Cerise Welter. As winter grows near, night creeps up a little earlier each day. It's too dark to play outside after supper, but Jewish children aren't unhappy. They know that a very special holiday is coming. It is Hanukkah, the festival of lights. Hanukkah means rededication. 8 days of Hanukkah fun start in late November or December, on the 25th day of the Jewish month of Kislev. It's the time to open presents, play games, sing songs, and recite prayers. But lighting the menorah, the special Hanukkah candleholder, is the most important part of the holiday. There are many different styles of menorahs. Each one of them holds 8 candles and has an extra candle, the shamas, which is used to light the others. On the first night of Hanukkah, the shamas lights just 1 candle. Each night another candle is added to the menorah until all 8 candles and the shamas burn brightly together. Often, the menorah is placed in a window facing the street to remind passerbys of a miracle. Hanukkah is celebrated because of the miracle that happened more than 2,000 years ago in Judea, a little country of shepherds, farmers, and craftsmen. Unlike most people at the time, the people of Judea, the Jews, believed that there was just one God, and they tried their best to follow God's commandments. To honor the Lord their God, they built a beautiful temple on Mount Moriah in the city of Jerusalem. From the surrounding valleys and hills, the people could see their temple. It filled their hearts with joy. Outside the temple were courtyards with sweet-smelling trees and flowers. Inside the temple was the Ark. It housed the sacred scrolls of the Torah, which contained the laws God had given to the Jews. In front of the ark stood an altar where the first fruits of the harvest and other offerings were made to God. And there was a lamp that was kept burning night and day with special oil. There were many gold and silver objects in the temple, but the ever-burning light was the most precious thing to the Jews. It was a sign of God's bond with them. Meanwhile, a young Greek king known as Alexander the Great had conquered the huge Persian Empire. Judea was just a small part of it. Wherever Alexander and his mighty army went, they brought Greek ideas and statues of Greek gods. A statue of Alexander was put in an important place to show that the country was loyal to his empire. The Judeans were relieved that Alexander allowed them to worship their Lord in peace, but they were horrified at the thought of having a statue on Mount Moriah. Their Lord did not allow statues. The king understood and made an exception for Judea. In appreciation, many Jewish families named their firstborn sons Alexander in his honor. After King Alexander's death, the rulers continued to treat Jews well until King Antiochus came into power. Antiochus decided to put an end to the Jewish customs. He forbid the Jews to observe the Sabbath, the holy day of rest, or to worship the Lord in any way. Then on the 25th day of Kislev, his soldiers brought a huge statue of Zeus into the temple. Antiochus slaughtered a pig on the altar and splattered its blood on the sacred Torah scrolls. Soon the soldiers spread out into the countryside. They set up a statue of Zeus in the village of Modin and demanded that the people bow down to it. Mattathias, a villager with 5 strong sons, knocked down the statue.
"Whoever is for God and his laws, follow me!"
Mattathias and his son formed a rebel band called the Maccabees. Maccabee means hammer in Hebrew. Hiding in caves by day, the Maccabees would strike at night, destroying the statues and attacking the soldiers. The rebels grew stronger and bolder as more Jews joined them. Antiochus was in a rage. He gathered a huge army outside Jerusalem to rid Judea of the Maccabees once and for all. The Maccabees swept out of their hiding places at dawn, and surprise attack drove out the army, the mighty army. The joyful people rushed to the temple. The filthy mess they found made them weep, but they brushed aside their tears and got to work scrubbing and repairing. They built a new altar. At last, on the 25th day of Kislev, 3 years after Antiochus had brought in the statue of Zeus, the temple was ready to be rededicated to God. It was time to light the ever-burning flame. But there was only one little jug of oil, just enough to last for 1 day. It would take a whole week to prepare more. The Jews could not bear to wait. With a prayer, the priest poured the jug of oil into the lamp, and the flame began to glow. And by a miracle, the ever-burning light continued to glow day after day for 8 days. And ever since that time, on the 25th day of Kislev, Jewish families all over the world light the first candle on their menorahs and remember the rededication of the temple. They fry crispy potato pancakes called latkes, or jelly donuts dipped in cinnamon and sugar called sufganiot, to recall that little jug of oil that served their ancestors so well.